What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Dylan Matthews back at it again with another hometown take. Today I'm talking about the Atlanta Hawks. You already know what's going on. That's a way to start opening night. Hawks get a big win, 113-87, as they blow out the Dallas Mavericks and start their season 1-0. I'm gonna break it all down, recap the game, also give you some expectations, and you know what I liked about game one and what I didn't like about game one. So that's all coming right at you next. But before I do that, you know we gotta handle some business. Make sure you like this video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel. Check out the first link in my description box to buy me a coffee to help fuel this channel, help fuel the Atlanta Hawks to a whole bunch of more wins, a deep postseason run, good playoff position, and maybe even an NBA Finals appearance, and maybe even an NBA championship ring, maybe. We'll see what happens. It's a long way to go, but the Hawks are off to a good 1-0 start. So buy me a coffee if you can. Also, check out the second link in my description box to subscribe to the Tough Cause podcast, where SymoneWithTheSports and I are talking to your favorite former and current athletes, hosts, anchors, reporters, all that good stuff. Make sure you listen to the pod, like the pod, download the pod, subscribe to the pod, share the pod out to your friends who also listen to the pod, like the pod, download the pod, subscribe to the pod, share it out to their friends who will also listen, like, download, subscribe, and share out the pod to their friends you don't even know them. All right, game one is in the books. The Atlanta Hawks are 1-0 as they defeat the Dallas Mavericks in State Farm Arena on opening night. NBA Thursday on TNT. They take down the Dallas Mavericks in a big way, 113-87. Great game for the Atlanta Hawks. Got off to a rough start early. You know, looked like there were obviously some jitters, some butterflies. Looked like Trae Young was pressing a little bit to start, but man, oh man, once they got settled in, those butterflies went away. They embarrassed Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks. Talking about the Hawks to start, all starters got into double figures. All bench players did not get in double figures. Matter of fact, only one bench player was in double figures, and that was our guy Cam Reddish, who actually led the team in scoring last night in game one. He finished with 20 points, 3 of 4 from the three-point line, 7 of 15 from the field. Very efficient night for Cam Reddish. Now, he started off slow. I like the aggression from Cam Reddish, but it seemed like he was trying to do a little too much. He let the game come to him a little bit more. He started facilitating a little bit. You know, he honed in that aggression, which I think that's the next step for Cam Reddish. I think he now knows that he can play in this game. He belongs in the NBA. So with that out of the way, now he just constantly has to hone in that aggression, hone in that talent, and, you know, build up that basketball IQ just a little bit and really, you know, learn the little nuances to the game, because the raw talent is obviously there. But Cam Reddish had a great game last night. They sparked off the bench, 20 points, like I said, 3 or 4 from the three-point line, 7 of 15 from the field. Very good and efficient night from Cam Reddish off the bench. Now, the starters, like I said, all hit the double-figure marks. John Collins, close, just a rebound away from a double-double, 16 points, 9 rebounds. He was 2 of 3 from 3 as well, 7 of 11 from the field. Great night for John Collins, also had 3 assists. DeAndre Hunter, very good night offensively and defensively. He locked down Luka Doncic. He had a block that led to a Trae Young to Clint Capella alley-oop jam. He just had a great game. And I mean, man, if DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish can stay healthy for the majority, fingers crossed, all of the season, watch out now. We're coming for that #1 spot in the East, because DeAndre Hunter, I mean, his growth from season 1 to season 2 to now, I mean, it's just amazing. It's night and day. He can create his own shot. Obviously, he's great defensively. DeAndre Hunter can do it all. He's not the scorer that Cam Reddish is, but I mean, he can still score and hold his own. He finished the game with 11 points. He hit a 3 as well, 3 rebounds, an assist, 5 of 11 from the field, just under 50% from the field, and he had an efficient game as well. Really efficient game for all the guys. Nobody really had bad numbers. Clint Capella, double-double. Of course, he's a double-double machine. He's going to start the season off with a double-double. 12 points, 13 rebounds from the big fella, 6 of 6 from the field. Getting that efficiency started off right too, 100% from the field on night one was Clint Capella. He had a great game. Trae Young started off slow, like we said. Seemed like he was pressing just a bit, but he found the flow of the game, started facilitating and finding his mates, and he finished the game with 19 points, 14 assists. He's going for that assist title this year, y'all. I'm telling you, 19 points, 14 assists, 2 of 5 from 3. Hit a long 3, that was real nice. 6 of 16 from the field was Trae Young. Bogey Bogdanovic knocked down 3 threes as well. He had himself a pretty good night, 11 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, 3 of 5 from 3, 4 of 8 from the field. Good night for Bogey in 26 minutes of play. Gorgie Dang also had a very good game. We need to point out his night. He hit a 3, finished with 9 points, 6 rebounds, 4 or 5 from the field. Like I said, hit a 3 coming off the bench. And how about Jalen Johnson too? First shot is a 3 and he drills it. He finished with 6 points, 2 threes for Jalen Johnson. He had a pretty good game. So just a great showing overall by the Atlanta Hawks. And I told you guys in the preview that whichever team came out and executed best and didn't have turnovers and knocked down shots. I mean, obviously I'm not, blowing anybody's mind with that statement, but I mean, coming out in game 1, it's about who's most ready. It's not gonna be about, who is, pulling off the fanciest moves or even about knocking down shots, about who can execute and limit turnovers. And the Atlanta Hawks did that. The Dallas Mavericks did not. The Atlanta Hawks did a great job defensively, which I don't think probably is gonna get talked about enough. They did a number defensively on the Dallas Mavericks, turned them over. I believe they forced 12 turnovers on the Dallas Mavericks last night. And I mean, they had Luka Doncic and that team frustrated. You could visibly see on the broadcast that Luka Doncic and those Dallas Mavericks were frustrated. They looked flat, and I mean, they just looked all out of sorts for game 1. So into the team stats here, just to give you the final turnover numbers. So we'll go over the shooting numbers too quickly. The Atlanta Hawks shot 47.9% from the field, 42% from 3, and the Mavericks only shot 33% from the field and 30% from 3. The Dallas Mavericks had 15 total turnovers, and the Hawks, while they were close, they had 13 total turnovers. The Mavericks only 9 points off their turnovers. The Hawks got 15 points off of turnovers. So, I mean, it was a good game for the Hawks. They took advantage of the turnovers they committed, and I mean, the Mavericks just had some bad turnovers. And again, the Hawks were the cleaner team. It showed. They had a good shooting night as well, and that's always good. So they got the W. Great showing from Trae Young, Clint Capella, John Collins, Cam Reddish in the Atlanta Hawks in game 1. There's a long way to go in this season. Obviously, we got 81 more games. So let's quickly talk about the expectations for the Hawks and where we all, I think, should put the Atlanta Hawks. Now, for me, I believe the Atlanta Hawks should be no lower than a second round playoff exit. If they lose in the second round of the playoffs, I think that's still a good season. I think that's a season you can build upon or off of. Especially if they, if the Brooklyn Nets get the number 1 seed in the East and the Hawks are the 4th seed, Hawks take care of business with the home playoff series, get past the first round, whoever they meet up with, and then they face the Brooklyn Nets in round 2. That's going to be tough, especially if Kyrie ends up coming back. We don't know what's going to happen with that. So I think the Hawks should make it to at least the second round of the playoffs. I think anything after that is really gravy. So we'll see. They should be competitive in the second round too. They shouldn't be getting swept by the Nets, because even though I think a healthy Nets team obviously is better than the Atlanta Hawks, and I mean, depending on how the next season goes, who knows if they're going to be healthy, and maybe depending on how these Hawks, grow and develop, maybe they end up being better than the Nets, even when the Nets are fully healthy. I mean, this team has that kind of potential. We'll just see the leaps and bounds they make, especially under a full year of Nate McMillan. So, I mean, we'll see. But, they lose in the second round to a team like the Brooklyn Nets, maybe even the Milwaukee Bucks if the series, goes like 7 or something. I can see that, and I won't be too disappointed in that. Obviously, I want my Hawks to win the NBA championship, and they can compete for that this year. They're that good. But again, we have to be somewhat realistic. The Brooklyn Nets are a very good team. The Milwaukee Bucks are a good team. I do think, if we did match up with the Milwaukee Bucks in the second round playoff series, I think we should be able to beat them. That's kind of a coin flip to me, but I would favor the Atlanta Hawks, but it just depends who we match up with. Point being, second round of the playoffs, I think is where we should make it to at the least. Anything below that is a disappointment. It's not just about making the playoffs anymore. It's about advancing in the playoffs. Not just about making it past the first round. You know, we got to be competitive in the second round too. You know, obviously we made it to the East Finals. We should, you know, be in the East Finals now consistently. So those are my expectations for the Hawks. I think I can't say this team is a championship or bust team. I think that's a little too forward. You know, they have that potential. I just don't think they're quite there yet. We still need Cam Reddish to develop, and you know, he needs to be consistent now. We know he can do it. Now he just has to do it consistently, you know, what he did in game one. If we can get that consistently out of Cam Reddish, it's gonna be a long season for these teams in the East. So, and staying healthy too, obviously. We can get the guys to stay healthy. Obviously, Danilo Gallinari in this game one with some left shoulder soreness. But I mean, when this team is fully healthy, we are deep. Maybe even the deepest team in the NBA, because I mean, starting wise, we had our first choice starting lineup in Trae Young, Bogdan Bogdanovic, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, Clay Capella. You know, missing Danilo Gallinari, I mean, coming off the bench, we have DeLon Wright, Kevin Huerter, Lou Williams, Cam Reddish. We have Gorgie Dang. I mean, we're just so deep. It's crazy how deep this team is. I love it. So, and I mean, that's what willed us over the Sixers. The Sixers bench couldn't compete with our bench, and when their bench came in, there was a drop off. When our bench came in, there was no drop off. So, you know, the depth of this team is really going to help us throughout the season as well. Hopefully, like I said, no injuries, but if there are, God forbid there are, we can make it through. So, my expectations again for the Hawks, nothing less than a second round playoff appearance. And like I said, I think championship or bust is a little too forward. So we'll see what happens though. I mean, I believe in this Hawks team. You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting anything past the Hawks this year, and we'll see what happens. But game one was fun. Please like this video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel. Tell me how you're feeling about the Atlanta Hawks after game one. I'm feeling good. Also too, I want to bring this up before we actually leave. So the Hawks have a very good chance to get off to a hot start this year. And I think we will learn a lot about the Atlanta Hawks by the way they respond to their game one performance and how they perform in game two. I say that because they're playing the Cavaliers tomorrow. And this could be a trap game for the Hawks. You just had a great opening night, blew out the Dallas Mavericks, who are going to be a playoff team in the West probably. And you know, you had a great showing. Don't start to smell yourselves too much though. It's only game one. You didn't see the final version of that Mavericks team by any stretch of the imagination. And this Hawks team has not arrived and made it anywhere by any stretch of the imagination. You're just 1-0. You got to come out with that same intensity, and you got to focus and stay focused against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Don't go out there against Cleveland and lay an egg and don't beat the team you're supposed to beat. Good teams beat the teams they're supposed to beat. So go out there. Don't let Colin Sexton drop a 40 burger on y'all head and beat them, because this team can start off easily 5-0. The hardest team was the Dallas Mavericks, and you saw what we did to them. Next, we have, like I said, the Cavaliers on Saturday. Tomorrow, that's a dub. We got the Pistons on Monday. That should be a dub. Those are two lottery teams, most likely. The Pelicans without Zion Williamson. That should be a dub. We should beat them. Then the Wizards, probably the next hardest team for game 5. We should beat them. The next real test is going to be against the 76ers, who may or may not have Ben Simmons. I don't know what's going on there. I'm not even going to speculate. We'll see. But this team has a chance to easily start off 5-0, could even be 6-0. So stay focused, Hawks. You want to get off to a good start. Rack up as many wins as you can now while you're fully healthy. I mean, hopefully we stay healthy, but while you're fully healthy at the beginning of the season, rack up these wins. Do what you got to do. Take care of business. Beat the teams you're supposed to beat. This Atlanta Hawks team has a very good opportunity in front of them. I don't want them to waste it. So hopefully, in the next coming weeks, we're talking about this Atlanta Hawks team being 5-0, maybe even 6-0. We'll see. But give me your thoughts about the Hawks, guys. Tell me how you're feeling about them after game 1. Tell me what your expectations for the Hawks are this season. And make sure you like this video. Comment your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the first link in my description box to buy me a coffee to help fuel this channel, help fuel the Atlanta Hawks to a whole bunch of regular season wins, a good playoff position, deep postseason run, maybe even NBA Finals appearance, and maybe even NBA championship ring, baby. Also, check out the second link in my description box to subscribe to the Tough Cause podcast, where you and girl Symone with the Sports, as she likes to say, are talking to your favorite former and current athletes, hosts, anchors, reporters, all that good stuff. Make sure you listen to the pod, download the pod, like the pod, subscribe to the pod, share it out to your friends so they can listen to the pod, like the pod, download the pod, subscribe to the pod, and share it out to their friends who also listen to the pod, like the pod, download the pod, subscribe to the pod, share the pod out to their friends you don't even know about. Hawks, 113-87 winners over the Dallas Mavericks. They're 1-0. Let's go! Good start for the Atlanta Hawks. And I'm going to go ahead and say this and put this in again before I leave you guys. Braves are going to be okay. Because I can't even fathom blowing the 3-1 lead twice. Can't do it. I can't fathom it. Brain can't rack that. Can't register that right now. So I'm not even going to talk about that. What happened was the sports gods, the basketball gods, baseball gods, football gods, they all got together. And they were like, the Atlanta Hawks got opening night. They had a great season last year. We have to reward them with a nice opening night victory. And we can't have that overshadowed by the Braves going to their first World Series since 1999. So they were like, you know what? The Atlanta fans, they've been through a lot, but they'll have to cope. They'll have to deal with, them having to wait another game. They'll win the NLCS. They won't blow another 3-1 lead. They'll just have to do a Saturday at home at Truist Park in front of their fans instead of in LA, because the Hawks are going to play on Thursday. We want them to have their shine on, okay? So the Hawks are going to win Saturday because there's no Georgia. The Hawks do play again, but they're 1-0. They had their opening night out the way. So the Braves will win. They'll go to the World Series on Saturday, okay? It's going to be okay. And then the Falcons will get to 500 on Sunday. There you go. I laid it all out for you. It's all going to be okay, guys. I promise. It's all going to be okay. Fingers crossed. Like this video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you guys are feeling about the Hawks down below. And hey, until I talk to you guys next time, stay true to Atlanta. Believe in Atlanta. Peace.